There are so many tips and tricks that I have for Palia to share with you that you should know if you haven't started playing or you've been playing for a little while. I'll be breaking down this video in the timestamps below in the description, but watch some of the sections that you think you know because there are some tips and tricks in there that you'd be really surprised with. Also, a little warning, there will be minor spoilers for the game, so just to let you know before you start the video. But with that, let's jump right into it. First thing we're going to go into is character customization. Make sure you love your character as they are because there will be some things you won't be able to change about it, such as your eye color, skin tone, face type, and voice. We're currently hoping for more body types and clothing options in the future, as it would make a really good customization just so much better, so let's keep our fingers crossed. Next, we'll go into some simple helpful tips and hacks that make the gameplay a lot easier. First, we're going to talk about the time in game. Time doesn't represent real life time, as 1 hour in real life will equate to 1 in-game day. With that, each game day resets at 6 AM, which will affect things like crops, stores, and shipping boxes. Want to get home faster? Use the Return Home button at the top of your main page in order to navigate home. It does have a 30-minute cooldown, so use it wisely. You also can fast travel using the board near the town to travel to other point places, but it will cost you gold. With a map, you can mark people, quests, and areas where you want to go to make it easier for you to navigate, and you can do this by using the middle scroll button on your mouse. Running around awkwardly with your tools out and about like I did for the longest time, press X to take them away so you don't run around looking like the next shining movie. Want to encourage others or express yourself? You can emote by pressing T on your keyboard, and you can hold it down to select the emote that you want. You can also customize your wheel by pressing P to open up the main menu, and clicking on this emote button on the top right and clicking and dragging emotes to the section that you'd like. Don't have enough materials or need some help? You can open up the main menu and there will be a request button with the O key, and you request up to 4 things with a 24-hour cooldown to players in your server. Don't like how certain keys are for certain actions? You can remap all of them by pressing the escape, then settings, then control settings, and then key binding where you can set your keys to how you're comfortable. Want to go to a far destination but don't want to hold down the W key? You can enable autorun by using / and then pressing sprint forward to enable. Speaking of running, instead of running to sell your stuff at the general store, you can place things in the bin in front of your house in order to sell them for the next day. Picking up and gathering lots of items but run out of pocket space? Palia has set a place for you to have overflow in case of a pinch so you don't lose your items that may be important to you. And then you can actually go back into your home to move them into your storage. That is so refreshing, as in other games it would definitely just be gone or not even gathered. If you need more backpack storage, make sure to grab the expanded backpack from your general store to get more storage space. This gives you an extra bar of stuff, and you can also later upgrade to an even larger backpack, which gives you 4 rows of storage. Want to snap a cute photo of you and your friend to remember the moment? Press and hold down the K button for the camera mode to enable, and if you want to take a selfie, press the bottom right button to go into selfie mode. Make sure though to save these photos that you take to the album, as they will be deleted once you quit the game. You can find them later on in your computer save file of the game. Next, we'll go into tools, materials, and skill set tips that you should know as you go about your journey. When you finally get to upgrade your tools, they'll in turn be able to downgrade, so make sure that you keep an eye on the yellow ring of each tool to know when to repair them. You can repair them by either getting the repair station recipe from Hodari after reaching level 4 mining and then getting repair kits needed, or you can head to the blacksmith in town to repair them there. Speaking of bars and planks, the machines that are used to make them, like the smelter, need time to produce them, but don't worry, when you leave the game, they'll still be working and ready when you get back. As you're working hard to gather everything in game, just know that you are able to also buy materials and items that you need instead of grinding for them. This lets you play the game just how you like it. Don't want to make any leather? No problem, it's also in the store. In terms of storage, at your home plot, you can craft up to 8 chests in order to get 3,200 slots of storage. Any more and it won't make a difference. Or you can buy the new updated storage in the store or be able to craft them later on. Still out foraging for more? Make sure to keep any seeds that you find either from chopping trees or harvesting plants, as some seeds are considered special and you might be able to use for things later on. On the topic of gathering items and animals, spoiler alert, there will be a vault area where you need to donate items to, so make sure to keep an eye on that in order to know what to donate to progress in the story. Now going on to skill sets and some helpful tips and tricks of each one. So let's start with farming. When it comes to farming, you start off with 2 soil plots, and then after, if you wanted more, you can purchase up to 9 plots at a time for bedroom, which gives you 81 crops at any one time. Farming is a great way to make money, so don't forget to water your crops daily, which like we said before, resets at 6 a.m. each in-game day. But if you're somewhat forgetful like me, you can use fertilizers to keep them watered for more than one day. The fertilizer does stack as well, so if you were able to add another on top of your first, you would not have to water your crops for 2 days and so forth. If you know what crops are ready to harvest on certain days, you can stack as those many fertilizers and then you would not have to water your crops till then. Every crop gives different boosts. To increase these boosts for plants, plant different crops next to each other. This only counts to those sitting directly left, right, up and down, but not diagonally. I also found this guide by Arenra that goes into depth about how to optimize your crops, boosts, and the effects of each nearby crops. I'll leave this in the description box below so that I can help you optimize your farming game. After gathering these crops and other resources from the land, you can cook them up initially using your campfire. Eating foods can increase your focus in-game, which we'll go into more later in this video. Like a lot of things in this game, it's great to do it with others, and cooking is no exception. Cooking together uses less resources and you can share ingredients enough to make the meal of which everyone can benefit from, so go ahead and start cooking together. When it comes to mining, there are various places that you can find a good source for each of them. For example, something such as clay can be found more near the water banks, and Palia ore can be found more on the edges of the mountains in Bahari Bay. There's this fan-made interactive map by Isaac Koopa and the community that can really help you find resources you're looking for both in Kilima and Bahari Bay. I will link this down in the description below. It's not all inclusive, but it can really help you in finding most of the resources such as mining, bug catching, fishing, and hunting, and so much more. In terms of hunting, the bow you get in the beginning can only shoot a certain distance before you need to upgrade, which then thereafter can be shot further distances. You also need arrows to hunt. The makeshift arrows can then one-shot choppas and take 2 hits for certain Sternuks. If you upgrade, that increases the damage and therefore you can use the standard arrow to then one-shot certain Sternuks, but don't forget to sneak up on the animals instead of running at them so as to not scare them away. When it comes to fishing, it's relatively easy to fish in the beginning until obviously some fish later on that'll be really hard to catch. Initially, I hadn't caught on, but basically you launch your bob, wait till it dunks down, and then you move your mouse back and forth in order to keep that bob in the ring until it reaches you. You can also use worms in order to catch various fishes as well. If you see these bubbles in the water, you can launch your bob there to guarantee a higher quality fish, where then you can display in your home if you wish. Just note that you can also reel in other objects such as recipes, furniture, and of course other trash, so don't be shocked like me when you first see it and think it's a complete glitch. With bug catching, use smoke bombs given to you by Anya in the beginning, of which you can either craft or buy more later on. Aim it like a Pokeball at the bug and you should be able to catch them. As you perform all these skills and explore the land, make sure to check various corners and places as they can contain hidden chests, recipes, and hidden passages. Next we'll go into home, land, and customization. Early on in the beginning of the game, make sure to level up your foraging and mining skills so that you can craft the basic sawmill and smelter to make planks and bricks in order for you to build your home from a tent to a brick and mortar house. To increase production, you can put up to 5 machines in your plot area at one time. After getting the house, you can use writs that allow you to expand your plot size. You can also purchase rooms and other sections of the home, but they require a bit of material, writ, and money to make and decorate, so make sure you save up. In terms of decorating and plots, you can also have different multiple save files so that you can make and decorate multiple plots without having to wipe everything out. We did get a hint at this before the release of the game, which would allow us to make different places with friends so that we can have different multiple houses, and that's so nice to see the devs making it happen. See a piece of cute furniture in the furniture store and stressed about affording it? Don't worry too much about that, as a lot of the furniture items you see can be learned through recipes later on, and you can make them instead of spending gold. In terms of storage, as you craft each furniture item, you actually cannot sell them for profit. But on the flip side, you can store the furniture in your storage without taking up any actual storage space. When decorating, you can do it in various ways, first in a grid system, or you can get a bird's eye view into a mini map so that you can decorate and move things quickly, which is a great quality of life upgrade. You could also press the Z key or whatever keybind you have it to on screen in order to decorate the items without a grid or snap feature, which then can give you more precision in where you place your item. Want a certain aesthetic or need to save some space? You can stack your items so they fit on top of each other, and you can click the bottom object to move the whole stack for convenience. Next we'll go into some stamina, focus, and renown. First off, there is no stamina bar in this game, but rather something called a focus meter. Focus allows you to have bonus experiences for any skill, so make sure to remember to eat to level that up faster. In the beginning, you get a campfire from Writ, where you can cook various things that you forage, like mushrooms and fish, as well as various recipes to cook food later on in the game in order to increase your focus bar. Next, there is also something called Renown, which then in turn is used to upgrade your focus bar. You can increase your renown by chatting and building relationships with villagers, gift giving, and leveling up your skills. Another small spoiler alert, you can also increase your renown as of now in 2 different shrines, one at the Dragon Shrine and one at the Phoenix Falls where you first spawned in-game. Most things will cost you around 100 renown, and the cost will get higher as you try to level up more down the road. Before, we talked about requesting items from others that you may need in-game, but vice versa, you can also fill out requests for others to increase your renown and level up faster. The renown will cap at 1000 points, so be careful and make sure you use it before it hits that point. Next, we'll go into playing with friends, others on the servers, and interacting with villagers. In regards to friends, although there are a lot of people on your server, you can only party up to 4 players in total as of now. You can invite those friends by either through the main menu or by interacting with this blue sign at the entrance of your plot, which of course they have to be home and playing as well. Having friends is really helpful as there are some things that you can't do alone. Just an example, like this tree that glows as it regenerates when chopped, therefore you need multiple players at once in order to chop it down. It's also really helpful as the promise by the devs that as long as anyone participates in any activities such as fishing, mining, etc., you all get the same amount of supplies as long as you do at least one action, which is really great because rather than your friends accidentally swooping everything up from you like in other games. In regards to NPCs, each NPC is associated with a skill that you can get recipes from or buy other goods. You can find this out by pressing the menu button and hovering over that skill. Besides having NPCs being such an important role in your tool progression or recipes, one of the great parts about this game is that regardless if they are away from their shop, you can still use the shops and areas for its purpose, rather than being trapped in times when stores are not open and not being able to chat with them just because of the time of day. Want to create a great relationships with the NPCs? You can ask for their weekly wants by clicking the question mark on the bottom where you can find out their 4 weekly wants. They can also tell you what other villager friends want as well. If you forget these wants, just open up the main menu and look over their character info sheet in order to remember them. Want to romance some of these characters? The NPCs that are romanceable have a second bar on the bottom separate for that. I hope you found some of these tips helpful as you play this cozy game. There are a lot of aspects that you can definitely work on and hopefully we'll see in the future. Some of the things that I like to see are of course expanded character customization, more players in one server as it doesn't feel like a true MMO, more in-depth quests, and of course quality of life upgrades. Let me know down in the comments below your tips and tricks for this game, how will you like it so far if you played, or what kind of updates you'd like to see from the devs. If you're interested in knowing what other cozy games that got released in August, or if you missed out some RPGs that got released, check out our other videos as well. With that said, I'm Jen, one half of the Ginger Gaming Duo, and I'll see you all on the next cozy update. Bye!